That's a nice big building there.
Oh, that's a nice pair of big buildings right there.
Welcome back to Harry's World, motherfuckers!
How?
Boom! Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful Friday. Friday. I got the Friday feeling. Today we are gonna watch a video. What if Earth got kicked out of the solar system? And do you know why we're gonna do it? We're just gonna do it for the vlog.
I'll do this one. You get? I ain't gonna do it. I'll do this one.
The night sky seems peaceful
This one we have to pause if we're gonna talk, because it's gonna be very complicated, isn't it?
and orderly. But in
Assume chilling positions.
Alright, well, you're gonna have to set up to pause every time you want to talk.
reality, stars are careening through the galaxy at speeds of hundreds of thousands of kilometers per hour. Not bound by static formations, but changing neighborhoods constantly. Fortunately, space is big, and so the stars of the Milky Way are very unlikely
No shit, space is big. Did you know that?
to hit us. Unfortunately, they don't have to hit anything to make us have a really bad time on Earth. And there are already stars starting to get very close.
Did you know there's a
He's 30
connection-
seconds in and he's already stopping it. Can you at least let it get to
This is the whole point. Alright. There is something that connects every sun in the universe together. Check it. I'll put a link to some science place up here. Sit. Everything's linked, bro. I'm telling you. The law of one.
To understand how dangerous stars are to us, we need to talk about gravity. Gravity attracts every piece of matter to every other piece of matter in the universe. You are attracted by an atom a million light years away and vice versa. Luckily, this force gets weaker over distance, and it also depends on how massive something is. So things that are close and are very massive are more attractive, winning the cosmic tug of war. This way, massive things define how smaller things behave around them. The Sun makes up 99.75% of all the mass in the solar system, and so it shapes the behavior and orbits of everything else in it. Billions of years ago, after the Sun was born, the solar system was a chaotic and dangerous place, as the planets were formed from countless little pieces that collided constantly. But over the eons, a stable balance emerged. Today, most planets and asteroids have settled into safe and predictable orbits. We have the inner and outer planets, the asteroid and Kuiper belt, and at the edge, the Oort cloud, a giant sphere of comets orbiting slowly in cold storage.
That's mad. Did you know that?
What?
We've got a sphere of comets around our solar system.
Yeah.
That's mad. That bear does point to some sort of design as well, like you were saying in the other video, in the vlogcast.
Podcast, yeah.
About the
There's a
crater in
link
there.
here.
Like there's a whole dome around us.
That we can't see.
No, we can see it, but we just can't see it with our naked eye. If
Yeah.
we were closer, we could see it.
Yeah, alright.
We really don't want this balance to be disturbed. If another star came too close to us, its gravity would pull on everything in the solar system like a spoiled toddler.
So that's basically saying if a sun comes past us, it's going to take everything away from the sun we're orbiting now.
Think about it. Sorry. If I've got a magnet.
Why'd you say sorry to the laptop?
No, alright, yeah. If I've got a magnet with loads of, you know, the metal filings, the little
Yeah,
tiny
but then
pieces
if you've
of
got a
metal.
stronger magnet and it goes past, they all come
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So
I'm agreeing with
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Messing up the pleasant order of the planets and asteroids and comets. This isn't some imaginary danger. Some 70,000 years ago, a red dwarf-brown dwarf binary system passed through the Oort cloud and messed things.
Why is it dwarf?
We should call it a dwarf because
It's
we.
small. That's
it's not-
dwarfism.
Yeah, but
That's
even
dwarfist.
even with like big, small, it's based on perspective. There's only
So,
size. There's
it
no
might
big or
even
small.
have
It's
sent
your
a deadly
perspective.
onslaught of asteroids our way.
Relativity.
But it could take 2 million years until those visitors from the Oort cloud arrive in the inner solar system. But there's a much bigger problem on the horizon. Gliese 710, a red dwarf with about half the mass of the Sun, is currently headed towards the solar system. In about 1 million years, it'll pass through.
Basically just said in about 1 million years, the Earth is going to be taken over by another sun. Basically.
Essentially, but there's no reason that everything has to be peachy on Earth. Do you get me? Like, eventually someone's going to fuck up. Whether we do it or the universe does it, it don't matter. Like, nothing stays where it is for long. Get me?
I get you.
Through the Oort cloud and become the brightest star in the night sky. A close flyby like this would unfold over hundreds of thousands of years, disrupting the orbits of millions of objects in the Oort cloud considerably. If we're unlucky, it will trigger a new period of planetary bombardment similar to the early solar system. The night sky could be filled with comets and asteroids raining down on the inner solar system. The larger ones could cause dinosaur-level mass extinctions and would be bad for the stock market. But it could get much worse. The galaxy is an intense place, and stars get close to each other regularly. So it is possible that a star could come much closer and not just pass us, but fly directly through the inner solar system. This would be very bad in the extreme. The chance of another star colliding with the Sun is astronomically unlikely, but that isn't what we're worried about. If another star were to pass by about as close as the Earth is from the Sun, it could easily eject the Earth from the solar system.
Alright, so we're back. We had to change location because social services.
The odds of such an event are estimated to be around 1 in 100,000 in the next 5 billion years.
That's mad.
I know.
That's quite mad. That's a long time.
5 billion, you know.
Like 5 billion. That's
On the cosmic scale, though, it's not too long, I don't guess.
It's quite long. It's quite long. It will be long.
Yeah, but that's because
small, but not absurdly so. As we discussed in another video, there seem to be billions of rogue planets doing their own thing in the galaxy, and this is one way to make them. So if this were to happen with an average red dwarf, what would happen on Earth? Kicking Earth out of the solar system. As the star enters the solar system, a small orangish dot appears in the sky.
Do you think when the star's entering, NASA's going to tell everyone? Or do you think they're going to let it happen?
They'll wait until the last minute, and then be like, yeah.
But by
basically, we're gonna leave the solar system. We've been kidnapped by another sun.
See you later.
Yeah, but they're not gonna tell us straight away.
They'll tell the people that need to know.
Oh, so.
Right.
That grows bigger and bigger for months, eventually becoming visible during the day. It would get bigger and much brighter than the moon. Too bright to look at directly. The night sky would be filled with an eerie red glow. After a few months, it would...
So it'll just look like a forever running sunset.
Kind of. But as it gets closer,
yeah.
would start shrinking again. But so would the sun. Over a few years, the sun slowly grows smaller in the sky, and with it warmth and light start to dissipate. All around the world, as the days turn dark, the final winter of humanity would begin. The polar ice caps begin to grow and spread, while plants shrivel and die. Forests freeze, and animals die in droves. As the Earth passes the orbit of Mars, the average surface temperature has plummeted to near minus 50 degrees Celsius. From space, Earth begins to look like an icy moon, the blue-green surface becoming the pale grey-white of death. As global infrastructure breaks down, people huddle together indoors, burning what they can for warmth as the temperature...
The apocalypse.
Yeah.
Do you think like it would just cause havoc?
Yeah, every civilization will just crumble.
And die.
continues to drop, counting the days until they'll be out of food which no longer grows. Everybody living at the surface is living on borrowed time. By the time Earth reaches Jupiter's orbit, surface temperatures sink to minus 150 degrees Celsius, lower than the coldest ever recorded temperatures in Antarctica. Needless to say, by now, almost everyone is dead. Without the energy from sunlight to evaporate water, clouds...
Unless there's like a bunker that has like an infinite heat source.
There's weird places in Antarctica where they've got like jungle scapes, where like there's sort of like I was saying earlier about the honeycomb structure, the trapped heat ends up making like not jungle level things, but there's like greenery, it's warm, like randomly in the middle of the Antarctic.
Clouds don't form and the water cycle stops. The polar ice caps eventually touch at the equator and the oceans become covered in a thick layer of ice. As more and more of its heat leaks out, more water freezes onto the bottom of the ice sheet, the concentration of salt in the deep ocean grows, poisoning most animals that survived here. Although around hydrothermal vents, communities of extremophiles might adapt even to these circumstances. Deep below the surface, some bacteria...
So that could be the evolution of a new race.
A whole new world, fam, based on the bottom bits of our bit. There's theories that has happened multiple times before. It happened with the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs got lit up and we come out of that. If the meteor didn't hit the dinosaurs, we'd still be...
Dinosaurs. So you're telling me and you would be walking around like...
Well, yeah, our consciousness, I guess, would be within the dinosaur. Oh.
as they're still kept warm by the radioactive decay of elements in the Earth's core. As the Earth reaches the orbit of Pluto and the Kuiper Belt, the Sun is still the brightest star in the sky, but it's one among many, with stars now visible during the day. The temperature is now barely 40 degrees Celsius above absolute zero, below the freezing temperature of the gases in the atmosphere. A weird spectacle, enjoyed by no one unfortunately, unfolds as the atmosphere turns into night.
Weird spectacle, enjoyed by no one.
Yeah. It's gonna look sick, but you can't.
No one will be here to see it.
Yeah.
Nitrogen and then oxygen snow. Over a few years, it's deposited into an icy 10-meter thick sheet all over the planet's surface, with only a thin whisper of gas remaining. The frozen corpses of flora and fauna are buried beneath them. As Earth leaves the solar system, it becomes a rogue planet, travelling alone through the dark, lifeless and in solitude. But weirdly enough, there is hope.
How long do you think it would take for Earth to get out of the solar system, though? I mean, it depends how fast we're going, I guess.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Humanity would not be surprised by this potential extinction event. We'd notice it thousands of years in advance. There's not a lot we could do to stop a star, but we could prepare. Most of us would perish, but a few million could survive in huge artificial complexes powered by geothermal and nuclear energy, possibly even fusion if we can learn to use the ice around us for power. Here, humanity might survive for hundreds of thousands of years. At some point, we would become used to our circumstances, and new generations would watch documentaries in disbelief about the time we had our own star and could walk the surface of Earth. And at some point, we might decide to look for another home. If the Earth were lucky enough to pass by...
That's nice, basically saying if we get bored, we're going to go find another home.
Yeah, we're doing that now. But even the VR thing, yeah. Did you know the patent, yeah, for VR come out in the 1950s or 70s? Swear down. So government had VR from time.
By another star with a habitable planet, we could try to make a fresh start. Spaceflight, oddly enough, would become very easy without the atmosphere in the way. So it's not unthinkable that the last survivors would leave Earth behind and try again on a new planet around a new star. Maybe one day, thousands of years later, the descendants of humanity will tell legends about Earth's ancient past. Stories of our lost home, of a mysterious icy planet, floating alone and empty through the dark of space. So basically, the key to humanity's survival is learning about what we'll be dealing with. Well, we'd better get cracking then. Our friends from Brilliant are the perfect coaches on the way to becoming more science savvy. Brilliant is a problem-solving website.
Right.
So what have we learned? If Earth got kicked out of the solar system, we're fucked.
And they're gold.
Essentially.
It'd be a bit chilly.
Get your coats.
Get your coats. Wrap up warm.
Yeah, man.
Innit? So, that's the vlog. Bye.
Have a great time.